no major skips. Take it away, Glint. All right, hello everybody. My name is Glint. I'm going to be joined today by my commentators. We'll start off with Lem.
Hello.
Bytez.
Hello.
And YANN.
Hello.
And since this game has a lot going on, we're just going to go right into it on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so starting off in this game, are 2 cutscenes. We're going to skip them completely, so we're going to lose some lore here. The whole premise of this right now is we're going to go through the tutorial. Our main objective through the tutorial is to collect these sparks to power up the spark tank in this island. But here we're going to learn basic move mechanics, which is our double jump, our dashes, our attacks, all that combat stuff, good things. Dashing and jumping, definitely going to be something you're going to see a lot with this platforming. Very good flow. Now that Glint's gotten all the sparks here, we're going to start getting into some combat now. Another cutscene skipped. We'll get into that in just a little bit, guys. Now we're in the water. We'll get into that too. Some combat. Look at these guys. They're so cute. These are bloom monsters.
They're so cute. Whap them.
Sweet mackerel.
We just saved Grandma. We're in the water. Lem, you want to talk about the water movement in the game?
Yeah, I'll talk about the water movement. The fastest way to move across the water in this game is constantly diving underneath and then like jumping off of the peaks of the waves. That puts Sigrid in a... You can see she was pink here, which lets you dive again. So the fastest way is just like keep going up and down into the water, what Bytez loves to call the dolphin mode.
I love dolphins.
And yeah, no, this is still a part of the tutorial section, I suppose. So this is also one of the only cases where we do death warps in the game. This should bring us back to the island and let us like get to the other locations faster. YANN?
Sure. So the bit of lore that we've missed at the beginning of this is obviously Grandma's got her lovely, lovely lighthouse, and it keeps the fog at bay. But as soon as we go through that kind of initial tutorial and grab the sparks, wha-bam! This massive wall of this black fog, this gloom comes into play, and Sigrid ends up waking up on this tiny little rock in the middle of the water. And I learned very early on in this game, because I watched the run, I thought, you know what, this game's about swimming, this game's about going across the water. And I jumped in and I died. After the cutscene, you actually can go in the water because you get this shadow. You might be able to see it a little bit in some of the brief moments that Glint dives under the water. It drags you along. You'll get to see it a little bit more later on. But the shadow is very important because it allows us to actually be able to traverse across the water and dive underneath it to drag us along and be able to go from island to island. So the shadow is very important, and we'll learn more about it as the game goes along.
I think I have what we need. Now what?
Well, get here stat
He has
so we can fill
what
up
he
the
needs.
tank.
Yeah, since we've gotten all the sparks now, most of the objectives in the game requires you to do pretty much the same. We're collecting sparks, we're filling the spark tank, and as this lighthouse moves, it takes away the gloom when it shines. So that is the main objective of the game entirely, is that we're getting rid of as much gloom as we can. And with this, you can kind of see this little outfit, just like a little brief glimpse of it, made by Lem here, co-commentator.
Cute little GDQ outfit.
And it's little cute GDQ logos on the shirt. We'll see it more a little bit if there's another time to get a zoom in.
Very cute. There's a lot of really cute cosmetics in this game. And so big shout outs to Lem for being able to make the custom GDQ outfit.
Speaking of cosmetics, we got Mr. Bane here. Mr. Bane's the merchant of the game. You can see
Make storms,
throughout
girl.
the
Just get on the boat.
game
Grandma,
there's
it's
these
harmless,
orange
I promise.
I
creatures
don't care if it's hard.
that
Ocean
Glint sometimes
Sigrid,
picks
it's
up.
not normal. Just get up on deck and
Those are
Did you see
sparklings.
Mom in
That's
that
the
room?
I told
currency.
you to.
I heard you say your name.
And
If you say one more word
it's used
while
to buy the
standing on
cosmetics.
You know, sometimes I just wish that Granny would
We don't
accept
use
that
them.
things have changed. This is what we're stuck with, right? Some days it's
Got a little bit of
not that
lore
bad.
going on here,
Cars to
so
eat, waves
listen in
to
a little bit
watch.
for the story.
I'm just saying, we might as well make the most of it. But not Granny, oh no. Everything worth doing was apparently done better back in the good old days. She just keeps rubbing it in, you know? When we had the dandelion, before the war, when your grandfather was still alive, blah, blah, blah. The war happened. Grandpa is dead. Sometimes she makes me feel like my future is already in the past.
War.
By the mother
War
of
never
God,
changes.
It's really them.
We'll learn more about that as the game goes along.
The
But this as
flying
well
barge.
too is an important piece as well, this
Dirty
flying
cars
barge.
trumped hard during the war. We'll discuss that seal of yours more later. Time to speed up.
There we go. So yeah, we have a couple of moments of story time throughout the game, which is really nice because a lot of the game you get separated into these moments where you have to traverse from area to area, and so being able to listen into the voice acting and the characters tell you a little bit about it is a good way to break up as you surf the waves.
Here we're in our
Where are we?
second area of the game, the plaza. These buildings are primarily vertical, so you can see these dash jumps give you a bunch of height. You're going to use that a lot going around this area specifically. Using that, and as well as another technique you'll probably see a little later on. I won't mention it now. It's a very neat piece of movement that we can use in the game. It's used rarely often. But again, we're going to collect some more sparks and fill up the spark tank. And again, there's going to be some dialogue here that we're going to pay attention
Maybe
to
you're some
just a
kind of
little.
sea creature.
Very important debate coming up
When I
here.
was a kid, I always wanted a pet. I tried keeping an
Curious to
eel
see
in a
what side
barrel
you're on,
once.
chat.
Freaked Grandma right out of her socks. She was all like, "Eels are no pets. Eels are meals."
Eels are meals. I think eels would be quite tasty. Man. I don't know. What about you guys? What do you think?
I can enjoy
I think they
it.
would be cute as pets. I mean,
Okay.
I can see both sides.
No bites if you had to pick. Oh my god, Glint
Go for a good
is
sushi.
moving. Oh, I heard him say it. Sushi. Oh, here it comes. Chat's weighing in.
You'll notice every time that Glint jumps off of any type of land and towards the water, the dolphin state it still shines, as you can see when Sigrid turns pink. The interesting thing about that is if you were to not take a wave as normal, then when you would double jump out of the water, you would be able
that
to
huge
regain
stone
dolphin
guy?
mode
That guy is Dr.
and be able to
Thelonious.
infinitely
I sure hope
loop
I've taught
that.
you well enough to know about him.
But the trade-off is that
Of course.
it's not
He discovered
completely as fast as taking
And
the
it's
natural
useless,
waves.
mind you. His
So it's
work
basically a
turned
pick and
small
choose
fishing village
of
into a
whether or not
metropolis.
you
How
take
sad that his life's work ended up like
the
this.
infinite loop or the speed of natural waves. And here again, we'll climb some more things, turn some levers. Here we're just using the spark tank's power to power up the next lighthouse, or in this case, a tiny torch, to open up some
Oh, yes, baby.
ooh, straight into the generator. So
Oh my
I
God.
got away some more gloom.
Glint really do be the schmooviest.
True.
Basically, the main game loop really is going to a new area to collect more sparks, the power, or the way they make power in this world, to be able to go to more areas to get more sparks, and it kind of just keeps going like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to free Cordelia. Another spark caster activated. Yeah. Sparks, very, very, very good for clearing out the fog. So
Let's get going.
I'll catch up to you.
another area of
The
going
mayor's
from
mother.
Cordelia.
one section
She
to
and her
another.
husband ran the dandelion, worked closely
A little
with
bit
them
more
for
lore.
years.
Just a little bit. It's already done.
Well, there's a bit more like a bit further into this passage, right? So
Drills at work used to be a
yeah,
sight to behold.
here she
It
is,
Bringing
talking
up
about the
Weebrock
Weebrock.
day and
Story time,
night.
story time.
We heard their thumping all the way to the plaza, like a rhythmic lullaby.
How does it work? I mean, how did you get the sparks out of the weave rock?
It's a complicated process, dear. Simply put, the weave rock was fed into an untangler. Sparks and gloom were carefully separated, and then the sparks went right into the belly of the dandelion, providing the whole city with energy.
What about the gloom?
Oh, we got rid of that. The gloom kept the sparks safe underground, but then it was superfluous. No use for the shell once you've cracked the egg. Shrimps and lobsters, what is happening here?
Shrimps and
Those are
lobsters.
huge. And
Probably
very
by
creepy.
consensus one of the favorite lines of the game.
Just a shame.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. He's able to save
It's
it.
the barge again. Are they following us?
BLM, would you
What are
like to
they
talk about the
spraying?
trick
Nothing
being
you
employed
should
there?
get.
Yes,
Yeah.
he gets it. Okay.
So there is something called something we call a triple jump in this game. You have your normal double jump and stuff, but you are able to get a third one. The way you do it, when you ground pound, you're able to cancel it with another jump and get just a tiny bit more height,
Can't believe I'm doing this.
which is useful in some places. We don't use it too often, but it's definitely like whenever you're doing platforming, if you're just like a bit not, just missing a tiny bit of height, you can usually save it with a triple jump.
Yeah, I actually just used it there in that exact instance where I was a little bit too low. I was able to use a triple jump to gain the extra height that I needed. Oh, very close. Oh, screw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
There's
serpent.
a massive sea monster now. This is our friend the serpent. They'll show up from time to time, and this is kind of like the first instance of a boss area. Having to go around from section to section and get rid of the drills, because it feels like this thing's trying to attack the towers that the drills are working underneath.
Can Glint do it?
Can he
Can you
do
get
it?
in the boat?
Can he get to the boat? Can he catch the ride? No! He can still do it. I think there's still opportunity. Can he get enough speed off of the grab here?
Get the Uber.
It's like trying to catch
'Cause
the
that-
bus.
The
Uber's
boat
leaving
is
the
just
station.
so fast here.
Come
It's
on.
it's worth landing on it.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's go!
I've never seen anyone land here.
Oh,
Ace on top of the boat.
Are crashing.
the
It's a
lullaby.
lullaby.
We are still far from shore. Know that I've got you. It's what my mom used
So
to
pretty.
sing to me when I woke up with nightmares.
I love that lullaby so much.
Now there's less stress going around here.
Yep, very cozy.
Boat's
Yeah,
just
the
fast.
boat is the boat is definitely the most optimal way to get back. I think even if you get all of the waves perfect, like getting to the crest of one and going into the next, you still get back faster if you manage to land on the boat.
I think the boat is about even.
It's a little even, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so since we are back in the plaza now, we're going to be running power back to the orchard, which is where we started off the run. And it's nothing crazy. We're just going to be in a bunch of water movement and another more of these like hitting switches on these islands, basically. And it's a perfect time for donations, actually.
Absolutely. Happy to oblige on that one. I will say, Twitch chat had very, very strong opinions on the eel debate, but we do have a $25 donation from Bob the Slayer, who says, eels are friend, not food. Much love, Glint and gang.
halfway between home and the
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Central Station there.
We've also got a $100 donation from a flying coconut who says, shout outs to Glint, Lem, and Bytez and YANN. So happy to see Glint run at AGDQ. Gotta go fast.
A busy place. Trains coming and
goodness.
leaving.
Coconuts.
People hurrying to get their tickets.
Thanks, Coconut.
A bakery with lovely armchairs called the Blue Sky Cafe serve the best bagels in town.
What did
Yeah.
bagels taste like?
Happy to do so. I will say, I forget to mention, one of my favorite ones, at least in the chat, was someone who said, you know what, I'm going to play both sides of the fence. I'm going to keep the eel as a friend and then eventually end up eating it. I thought that that was a very diplomatic answer.
I feel like that's how my take should have been taken. But I didn't get to
One of my favorite
justify
ones
my
that I
choice.
saw too go by was like Glint is obviously biased because he has eel in his name. Because Glint's Twitch name is Glint, Geelint. You heard it here first.
Runner said it.
Good segue into @Z2K. Actually, it's a horrible segue, but I'm just going to go with it. @Z2K with a $25 donation saying, keep up the great work.
Thank you.
And by all means, let me know. If you want me to keep rolling, I can.
I think YANN should actually talk about some stuff right now. We're about to get some like back-to-back lore, so.
Yeah, so now that we've made it back to the Night Orchard, the home of the lighthouse, we're about to enter into another important cutscene in the playthrough of the game, if you're doing it casually, where we go into the greenhouse. And inside the greenhouse, there's a little bit of a shrine that Sigrid's put together for her mom. And it has a picture of her with a particular pendant on it. This pendant is a little yellow clamshell necklace. And then the shadow ends up coming into the greenhouse and giving us an exact copy of that necklace. And Sigrid ends up wearing it with her for the rest of the journey that she goes on in this game.
It's a very cute cutscene.
It is. It's very, very cute. We'll learn more about that fantastic locket later. As soon as we get into this next area, it's going to trigger another bit of
One
lore.
night when I was a kid, Grandma
Here it
had a
is.
drink and let me stay up late. Then she started telling me about when Strandville sank. It was just 2 days after Grandpa's death. Granny was upset and wanted to join the fight, but there was no one else to watch over Mom. So they took cover in Grandpa's greenhouse. They sat in there looking through his hundreds and hundreds of notes and drawings when something just cracked. Granny said that it sounded like the earth broke in two. They must have been so scared.
That would be colon.
And also I'll mention, you can notice that when Glint jumps off of grabbing any of these rings, also activates dolphin mode. That will also give you the infinite loop. If you were to
Triplets aren't
dive
too far.
over and
You
over.
should be able to spot them once you've passed the old cidery.
If you ever think about running a game, it's a good way to
Your mother
start these
actually worked there for
wave
a couple of
combos,
summers
or
before
even
she
just swim around faster.
pressed apples from the Kipson
if you'd like.
farm. Made the best cider
Some
around
information
here.
for you.
A sweetness that set
Yeah,
your
speaking of
mouth
running the game, it's pretty easy to pick up. Like, there's no super hard tricks that you have to learn. It's pretty much just like get the route down, get some good movement going, and you're good to go.
You met?
No, but it's where we had our first date.
Chad's going into this eel thing some more. Everything was fine until the eel nation attacked.
Without me, we wouldn't even have
Yeah,
gotten
no,
the
like
first
I
date.
ended up playing through this game casually after watching a couple of runs and even just seeing some of the techniques that these guys were using and being able to implement it. It's a lot of fun. Just the movement is very fluid and there's a lot of fun things to do with it. And I even found a few optimizations when I played it too. So,
Let's go.
and our friend is back.
The serpent.
He has little friends now
This
too.
time. Yeah, the Striders. They're pretty easy to kill, but they can be a bit annoying because we don't always kill them. Right now we are, but there are some points later in the game when we meet them again where we don't kill them, and they have aimbot. They like when you're swimming past them, they shoot pretty much exactly where you're going to go, and so that can be a bit annoying. Especially if it's really bad, you end up getting like stun locked almost, getting sent backwards for a bit.
Give you the wombo combo. There's a couple of sections of the game too where we don't even have to fight the Striders. We can just continue going past them. But if you play this game on controller, my goodness, the aim assist is so happy to remind you that there are enemies behind you that you decided to go past. It'll just keep hunting for them.
Yeah, I'm just going to mention that Glint's playing on the keyboard right now because of that whole controller issue.
I'll talk a little bit about the routing through here, Bytes.
Yeah, so it's basically just going from one lever to the next.
Absolutely
from all the
insane
power
route.
that we've been, it's just going straight to each lever.
Yeah.
This last piece of movement here is optimized as well, just recently, because of the triple jumps. It's gonna land on top of that box, triple jump onto the gate, and start the spark caster. Our little serpent friend. He looked into it. No.
Don't look into the sun, kids. It's not good for your eyes.
Bring his sunglasses. Oh no, serpent friend, he's gone.
This is unfortunate.
Oh, this is fine. This is
the
fine.
cutscene.
No, it's fine. I can just use this one down here, actually.
Okay.
We need to go this way anyways.
This was the backup all
true.
along.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. This is calculated.
Okay. I did a practice run like 30 minutes ago, and I found cool new movement here I'm going to go for. It's hard. It doesn't lose like any time, but if I get it, I'm going to look really cool, so here's hoping that I get it first try.
I believe.
I got it. Let's go.
Got it. Let's go.
Get me fired up at 4:23 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Glint. Okay.
This area introduces us to bounce pads. Bounce pads are really fun to use because if you bounce into them and hold the hover button, it takes all that momentum it would give you and double it, allowing you to go even higher when you bounce off. So you're going to see it here. Another optimization by Lem.
He's going.
Yep. This uses the triple jump
Ooh,
too.
There we go.
Just barely making that.
And interesting thing with the triple jump is if you're over water, you completely keep all momentum going into the next jump. So that's just what makes that jump even cooler.
Early.
Spark tank filled, lever broken.
Yeah, we gotta go
We gotta fix it.
get help from a lady over here.
Gran, can I ask you something?
If you must.
When you were young, before
One of
the war and
my
everything,
favorite
what
splits.
were your favorite
You
things
watch
to
Glint
Well, what
on
does
Twitch.
It matter?
do? I'm curious. That's all.
We must help.
Well, if you must know.
Pergananat lady.
Strolled in parks,
Yes,
dined at
the Pergananate
restaurants,
lady.
threw parties, visited.
We gotta.
She's in labor. She can't give us a fuse quite yet. We need to find a doctor. And is there a doctor in here?
Is there a doctor? I think chat pointed that out earlier as well too, that there's wonderful voice acting and dialogue in this game, and then sometimes if you're like speedrunning and skipping through cutscenes, it's just like
Yeah.
They go Banjo-Kazooie mode.
Yeah.
exactly.
Here's
Yeah.
the Striders again, and we're not going to be killing these, so you're going to see the aimbot at play.
Yeah. Let's just say if I don't get hit,
Oh,
it would have been-
there's one of
There it
them.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't my this isn't my most speedrun game ever, but even still, it's crazy to say that the amount of times I've been through this area not being hit is like I could count on one hand. It's insane how good their aim is, especially when all you're trying to do is go fast. Okay, another particular important lore moment here that we're gonna be skipping because it's just a big long cutscene normally. It's a baby.
Boom! We helped the Perganonite lady. That's not the lore that we're concerned about, though. We're concerned about the man that was fishing off the edge of the pier. No, seriously, we were concerned about the man that was fishing off the edge of the pier. His name is Trevald. Trevald is very, very interested in the shadows. So, the one that we have. We learn a little bit more from Trevald that the shadows are, as the Whistlers would call them, we'll talk about the Whistlers in a sec, a spirit that's trying to reach contact back with this world. Now, the Whistlers, their major insignia is that yellow clamshell necklace that Sigrid got from the Shadow. So the Whistlers, they're another people from this world. Obviously, Strandville has all the manufacturing and the sparks and the weave rock. But the Whistlers, they come from a land that was more farming and produced a lot of the food for the world. And so they have the clamshell necklaces. And we'll learn a little bit more about their involvement in this whole nonsense and the war and everything later on. The other important piece of that I almost missed, though, is that the Whistlers, that's who Granny and Mayor Cloud and everybody call the Dirty Paws.
Big plot twist moment for sure right there. Okay, very similar to from the plaza back to the orchard, we're running power back here, so this would be another perfect time for some donations.
Absolutely. I've got a couple of that I think you guys are really going to like. We've got a $10 donation from Alien that says, "Nobody schmoves like Glint. Every game he touches turns to butter. Like King Midas for butter. Also, eels are certainly meals. Unagi is top tier."
Agreed.
Thanks for the donation, Alien.
We've got one I think you guys are also really going to like, which is a $250 donation from Apple Mac that says, "Former Stadia dev here. It's great to see this awesome game being showcased at this event. Good luck to the runner. Let's hit 500K.
Thank you so much.
Let's go.
This game is definitely a hidden gem. And I'm very glad that it's on more platforms
for sure.
now for more people to play.
I'm sure she used to climb to the top of the tree to find the best ones.
Okay, we got plenty of time still, so go for it.
She might not have even been.
Absolutely. We've got a $20 donation from Pit Warrior, and Pit Warrior says, "Loving these prizes," which I'm going to use as a segue to remind you guys that there are some amazing prizes that will be closing soon at the end of Wavetale. We've got a $5 nuclear fallout scented candle, a beautiful burlap screen of Wind Waker titled The Legendary Hero for $10, a Bioshock Big Daddy framed watercolor painting that is absolutely stunning for $20, and for those who like a little extra tech in their lives, a $20 donation can get you in for the Razer Gaming keyboard and mouse. But I believe that those are going to be closing at the end of Wavetale, so please make sure you get your donations in soon so you don't miss out on those amazing prizes.
Awesome. Should have time for one or two more donations.
I got you covered. We've got a $50 donation from Geldine that says, "Let's get all the bonus games this year." I definitely agree with that. And one more I'll squeeze in here is a $25 donation from Veronica N that says, "So many amazing runs being showcased this year. So many amazing runners, such an amazing cause. Thanks GDQ for putting on such an awesome event."
All right, well, we're all the way back at Orchard, and we gotta hit a switch underneath the lighthouse. And then, surprise, surprise, we gotta go somewhere else and get more sparks.
There's just not enough power to this thing.
We need more power. I'm not trying to talk to you, I need to go
Andy, that's
fast.
his name.
It's Andy. Andy keeps trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to go fast.
You were not even supposed to talk to him. It's just from mashing so much.
They're just people like you and me. Maybe a bit more crude. More mauls and hammers than knives
Some more
and
lore.
forks. Oh, the foreman of the Dandelion was the best mechanic
Just
I
not
had
gonna go
ever met.
fast
He
enough
knew that plant like
to
his own
dodge my
pocket.
favorite line in the game.
He would knock on the pipes with his wrench, put his ear to the metal and listen, and then say something like, "All done on your end, sir?"
Just beat it.
Ooh, get teased.
Bananas?
Oh, he just got there.
It means we shouldn't plan too far ahead.
If you want to see
Bananas.
that fantastic line, then you're gonna have to play the game.
Yes.
Something I heard
We do
you
skip
say
some.
once.
You might think the art in this game is fantastic, which it is, but it gets even better in the cutscenes. The cutscenes are like super well directed and everything. I would really recommend it just for that.
And especially seeing the whole environment change here. You can see it's getting into like midday or just this tone. So nice to look at.
You also don't get to see any of the very cool facial expressions outside of the cutscenes.
Did you talk to someone? What did
There's
you
some
find?
very
Charlie.
emotable
Apparently,
ones.
the generator that powers the torches is shut down.
Charlie the man with
That's an
the
easy
beautiful
fix.
mustache.
I can even see it from here. Let's go.
Yeah, they've
It's
done
more-
a great job with the environment in this game and like getting a different feel for each area.
It's more bounce pad action here. Gotta turn the generator on. Get up to this torch here. Power on and get rid of some more fog. 'Cause we gotta get to Candle Hill.
One down.
No cause for celebration yet. Let's
Yeah,
look
this
at
The
another
skies, baby. Here we
No
go.
rest for the wicked.
This whole segment here is pretty cool.
Just listening to the music, just build up, adding more instruments. It's so nice.
That's another one.
one. Let's keep moving.
Oh,
Can't give
okay, I
this
was like,
game enough praise. It gets it all here.
yeah, no, the vibe just picks
That's
up
great.
and
Come on, Ziggy,
getting to
you
go
can
to
do
all
this.
these different things. And it's important because at this point we need to break our way through the fog a little bit more in order to meet up with little Cassius and the rest of the pirate crew, because little Cassius is one of the greatest craftspeople in Strandville. And we want to go and see Cassius because if we remember that flying barge from the Dirty Paws, or the Whistlers as we now know them, obviously Granny and them all see them as the enemy, and we want to be able to take them out. So they're trying to approach little Cassius to build them a weapon to take out that flying barge.
Lots of conflicts going on. But now we're gonna do some more platforming. Glint's gonna hit these generators in a specific order. Firstly, that one is because the ring takes a while to set up on its own. So Glint opts to start that one up first, and then go into a different order to power up this button in the center. Ultimately powers up the whole torch. And then
All the
get this
while
last
dodging
one.
the aimbot.
Very clean. All three. Very nice.
Oh, always so satisfying.
And here we're gonna learn how to ground pound. Very nice use of the mechanic.
Yeah, I've never used that in the run until now. Actually, crazy.
Never, not once. And don't do it before that or the game will crash. Don't ask us how we know
See
that.
some ships.
Before we draw attention to ourselves. My. Seems like they're throwing us a welcome party.
Is that Clout's ship?
How did he get here before us? Oh, these folks are not easy to deal with. Last thing we need is Cloud annoying them even more.
Grandma.
Sorry, Grandma.
More grunts.
It's a big snake.
The serpent is back.
He's not dead.
He's only got one eye.
So this is gonna be like a boss fight segment, pretty much. It spawns more of these striders that we have to kill to be able to progress the fight. or well, to get it to properly start, I suppose. And you see there are these like 3 different towers in the back here. And this fight is pretty much RNG based, because the boss, or the serpent, is going to go to one of the towers at random. And there's a sound cue that we can listen for to know which one. But the best RNG that we can get is if it goes to the middle tower last. Because that's where the cutscene after you're done with the boss is going to happen. And it just saves us a bit of time. The worst RNG is if it ends up in the middle first.
I think we just got the right
the
one
right
first,
start.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good start.
Sherman on fire. There's a pressure plate at the bottom of the ignition switches are at the top of the furnace.
Also, very interesting how our lovely big serpent friend has these very convenient grapple pads all along him. Very helpful, thank you.
Just gonna light up the
Too hot to handle.
the stacks. And
Each time
gonna
we're
set up the
done,
side.
each time we're done, the serpent's gonna come back out to the middle, spawn more striders that we have to kill, and then it just keeps going like that until we're done with each of the towers.
Be careful, everyone. Here comes more of them.
All you gotta do is fight off a couple more striders, and then as soon as you get through them, which their combat in general is always very simple and very the same, you're able to grapple on them from a fair distance, and as he mentioned, the gloom monster is very cute, but then whack him. All right, listen in. Where is he gonna
50-50.
go? Sounds like
Middle.
right. Gonna go middle?
Unfortunate, but
This is not the worst, as like, this is probably the second best pattern that we could get. Having to do left, okay, this is a little awkward. Okay, we're fine. Having to do the left one last puts us in a pretty good position to get back to the middle, which is where we need to end up, and why the middle being last is so ideal. But doing left last is not the worst, which is nice. And we just get to calmly wait for this Strider to respond.
Just show off the
Show off the outfit.
outfit and GDQ.
Look at
GDQ.
that.
Rate my fit, chat. How do I look? Oh, there's a big monster.
Oh no! He doesn't like the fit.
These are the haters.
2 down. Oh my god, look at the legs on that lad. He's moving. At least you get the, now that we know he's going to go to the left one, you at least get the head start climbing up to the button.
Just one more.
Third time's the
climb.
charm. There we go.
And the buttons
It's the-
don't activate until the quest is updated.
I was gonna say, does her dialogue trigger that as well, or do you just have to watch for the as soon as it says it, sweep the chimney top?
I'm sure both are aligned to each other.
That was some action
goodness.
last. Says at least
Whoa.
one.
Whoa.
whoa, what happened there?
Well, there goes the ideal.
Whoa. So far, chat's
Totally
giving you
fine.
good ratings for your drip.
I appreciate it, chat. Thank you. I put no effort into it. I just downloaded a file, so thank you to my fashion designer, Lemuura.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
I'm gonna go for a cool little dialogue skip thing here. Let's hope we get it. I should. Nice. Okay.
Let's go. Nice.
So while Glint was being in the mid dive animation, oh, that actually went really far.
Yeah, you can save a lot of time with that. You'll notice it here when I break the ship, but every time I talk to Peppy, I get stuck in place. And I would have been stuck in place in that one location, but since I timed a dive exactly when the dialogue started, I was able to like continue moving along the water surface. It's really nice. All right, I'm just going to be collecting a couple sparks and heading over to another container. If you want to fit in a donation or two, I think this would be a good time.
Absolutely. We've got a $20 donation from Evie Nix that says, Wavetale looks super slick. Eels can be friends unless they're mean. Then they can be meals. We've also got a $20 donation from Heffy that says, eels are not meals. The debate is still rolling, so get your donation in with that comment. Get it on stream.
Should have time for at least a couple more.
Gotcha. We've got a $25 donation from Bats that says, gotta donate for Wavetale. This run just convinced me to buy the game. This is a beautiful game, if I do have to say so. This is chill. This is a great game to get.
Nice work.
Absolutely.
And Sigrid, I'm sorry about whatever happened.
Unbelievable. Atmospheric, very cozy.
Thank you, Peppy.
A little bit of everything. Lots of exploration. Obviously the speedrunning element, and all around, like, just a pleasure to play.
All right, so there was a little bit of lore stuff that we missed. I can let Leon explain that and all that like peppy dialogue.
So Peppy, obviously a member of the kind of the fleet here that's about to happen. So you need to go and fill up some more sparks, and that's what we were doing, because now that Cassius has agreed to build our weapon to try and take down the Dirty Paws barge, then Peppy was going to lead the fleet. We freed all of his ships, and now those ships have little mini spark casters. Like, remember the one that we said don't look into the sun when the serpent got blinded? We have a bunch of those on the front of the ships, and now those are going to help us cut through the fog some more. But we got a few words from Peter that I want to listen into as well.
You mean like us?
Yeah, I guess. But you gave something back, chasing out that snake. After the war, people who used to make us work for peanuts at the Dandelion just came pouring in. But this time, they didn't even have peanuts to offer. So we turned them down, decided to keep to ourselves. It made them real mad.
Wait, this must have been way before you were born.
Watch out!
Watch out!
Watch out.
All right.
Okay,
The
another
aimbot this time.
aimbot section. Okay.
No.
Okay. Left.
Right. Ines.
Left.
Serpentine.
Serpentine.
Become the serpentine.
Yeah, the Peter and some of the folks and Cassius as well that worked at the Dandelion back in the day before the war. The Dandelion was mentioned before as well as kind of the main means of the infrastructure. But now we're on our way to Needle Prick Peak, and Glint, did you want to preamble us for this moment here? Are you stopping or no?
What? No.
No stopping.
No, it's a speed run, my guy. I place this. We're behind schedule right now. I gotta be as helpful as I can be.
Fast.
Oh yeah. Also, that's not a wall.
Yeah.
So
Turns out in this area, you can just keep going through those walls. Like, normally you'd have to wait for the fleet to catch up and then do their whole talk and then actually remove the wall after that. But you can just keep going through it. And there's several more that we're going to go through as well that you just don't die to. And then as a little fun fact, there is one wall in this area too that just leads out of bounds that doesn't have any death collision. It's not useful for the run. It was for like 2 seconds until we found a better any percent route, but yeah.
yeah, we'll explain that a little bit later. But there is a reason that this is any percent no major skips.
Yeah. He would know.
There happens to be a major skip in normal any percent.
Gotta have one in working condition.
He's not gonna like this. Not trying to
Very
visit that
major.
man.
Yeah,
Especially not in front.
we'll get to that.
I brought a box of his favorite tea leaves. Hopefully enough for the trip.
What Trevor said about the Dirty Paws, about the Whistlers. I've never even heard that name. Who are they?
Well, we're gonna learn about that, Sigrid. Don't you worry.
All right, this last wall that I'm about to go through is a little different than the other walls. You might have seen that I was like jumping around and trying to get dolphin mode on all the other sections, but for some reason, if you jump in this last one, you jump into a death plane and die and go very far back. So I'm just going to stay on the surface of the water for this last one as we make our way over to Rufus. Needle prick here.
Yeah, the camera goes weird when you're close to death walls.
Oh no.
Foreboding almost.
Rufus, no, man.
Are you doing the new thing?
New things. We also
The
found
thing
out.
we did also in practice.
Yeah.
Around the outside. Nice. So
It shows off a really good movement.
Go for it, Bytez.
Yeah, all this movement going around, like all of the dangling platforms. I don't know. It's just really nice to look at.
Yeah, this
There's
is.
some combat here as well.
It dodged, I guess. Absolutely owned.
Play.
You're not very grouped this time.
Get over here.
Matter? He's just gonna go over and meet them.
Okay.
Bonk.
I love this movement. Don't mess it up. I didn't mess it up. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Nice.
And goodbye,
Bye,
Rufus.
Rufus.
I guess we didn't really talk about that. That's Rufus, by the way. We don't actually need to save him. Like the quest kind of tells us like we need to. So we just don't because it's a little bit faster not to. But she skips some dialogue too, which is nice, which is a little bit of extra time save.
Yeah, this whole quest line is just broken. We just
Yeah.
break it.
Yeah, just a little quality of life skip. Still no major skips yet. But yeah, essentially,
Minor skip.
coming up here, what's going to be happening is by saving Rufus, and then now we're going to go and activate the generator so he can get us that spare core in trade. And this is a major kind of groundbreaking, earth-shattering piece of lore about the game. So a little bit of spoilers. I mean, we've had a lot of spoilers so far already, but just in case, maybe avert your ears for a second if you don't want to hear the spoilers of the game if you're about to play it for yourself. So we've heard about the Whistlers, we've heard about the Dirty Paws. They're the same folks. The Dandelion took the Weave Rock up from under the ground, and obviously Strandville, big on the industry, big on making sure that they were able to do all of that. When they separated the Gloom and the Sparks from the Weave Rock, they just threw away the Gloom. The Gloom ended up traveling all the way to the Whistlers' homelands where they were doing all their farming and everything, and the Gloom monsters were eating their crops, they were destroying their world. And the Whistlers, they tried and tried and tried to be able to send messages and say, hey, you gotta stop doing this, you're taking away our farms, you're taking away our lives. But they didn't listen. So they decided to take it into their own hands. Their scientists devised a liquid that they tried to put into the Dandelion to stop the flow of the Weave Rock and stop the Gloom from being extracted. That ended up blowing up the Dandelion, or at least a piece of it, when the Dandelion almost gained sentience and started going crazy. It blew up and caused that crack that Sigrid talked about earlier, which sunk Strandville into the water.
I thought I was gonna die, but Granny, they saved me. They sprayed something.
That's a rock.
And then there were flowers everywhere.
Rock.
And Rufus said
I wasn't sure if we wanted to hear a little bit about this. But then the other piece of that, too, is that Sigrid's mother, Iris, after the big crack in the event, she wanted to try and fix things. So she took what was called a Nightweaver seed, which is something that the Whistlers or the Dirty Paws barge has been spraying over top of the Gloom to get rid of it. And we miss a cutscene where they actually save Sigrid using some of it. She tries to go into the Dandelion to put it in there and almost turned it into a mending machine instead of destroying the world. But the Gloom gets her and she never makes it back out. But Rufus is able to survive at the loss of his leg.
Poor Rufus, man.
Yeah.
Poor Rufus.
So
We don't save him, and he lost a leg.
yeah, Rufus is definitely getting the short end of the stick right now. But yeah, we're basically on our way back to the orchard once again. This time, it's a little bit more serious. We're trying to stop them from using a weapon of mass destruction on this beautiful barge. And yeah, it's kind of just swimming again. So you probably have time for a donation or two, honestly.
Gladly, happy to do so. We've got a $10 donation from Sly Dante saying, so glad to see such an underrated gem like Wavetale being run during AGDQ. Thanks to Glint for running this and the great job they're doing so far. Keep up the great work and nice touch with Sigrid's new outfit.
Thank you. I put a lot of work into it, like I mentioned before.
So much.
Go for it. You got room for like one or two more.
All right, we've got a $25 donation from DeMagico that says, "Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful game. Good luck on the run. Also, eels are friends, not food. Keep on keeping on." We've also got a $25 donation from Frozen Forest that says, "Good morning, GDQ. Like seeing such a pretty game first thing after waking up."
All right. Okay, we're back and we're leaving again. I got places to be. There's the big barge. It's flying slowly. I want a platform. Hurry up. I think this is also the first instance we see Gloom disappearing without the lighthouse, and also a wall that is has meaning for some reason that Lem's going to explain.
Yeah. So we mentioned any percent, and then the fact that this is any percent, no major skips a bit ago. In any percent, it turns out during the tutorial section, when you climb the clock tower, using the triple jump tech, you're able to jump over this wall and get into this corridor that we're in right now. And everything just works normally, so you can finish the game in like less than 8 minutes. Which is pretty cool. Very fast. No major skips, kind of just follows more the conclusion of each of the quests, pretty much.
Yeah, everything except defeating Striders, because that's boring. And saving Rufus, and, well, I guess I'm catching up to the barge right now, so we're working on that.
We'll never get to see the rest of the barge.
We won't, no. This is
We
the closest thing to our major skip, is the skip coming up here.
If anything, we're saving the barge.
True.
It never gets shot.
I think I see apples.
Happy ending.
Also, yeah, it's like really green around here for some reason. It's kind of crazy. Don't know what that's all about.
Stories you told me. I never thought I.
Secret, my dear.
And here's one of the
I give you that.
skips of
Simply
the game where we're gonna go around the carcass.
I am in your debt for helping.
Usually around here, we'd be watching a couple of cutscenes and going through dialogue
I am truly sorry, child.
where it would be unskippable. And we could just start the quest line by
People want this.
going back there, and it spawns these enemies, and Grandma is
Getting beat up right now. There you go.
Slapperinoed.
There's Grandma.
Don't know how she got here.
This is a very, very cool flow stadium movement section, which I think is really cool to watch. So enjoy this section.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sparkling.
The sparkling did it to him.
We didn't mention it earlier, but yes, all my homies hate sparklings. They can be grabbed like this. Look at that. Very cool. But that means that they're also grapple points, which sometimes will override whatever you think you're going to be grappling to, which is exactly what happened there. I ended up grabbing a sparkling rather than grabbing the grapple point that I was aiming for.
But yeah,
This
movement
place
here
is
is pretty
cold.
cool.
Yeah, this place is called the Carcass, as we mentioned before, when Rufus and the Whistlers caused the big crack in the explosion. This is one of the three facets of the dandelion that was bringing up the weave rock.
Oh, okay, we made it work. Okay.
You got it.
All right, the dandelion.
Oh! Heard a lot about it. Finally, it's time.
What's that back
Serpent
there?
friend.
Oh my god! I love how it's a
serpents.
silhouette of how far it is. And the reveal just like shows the eyes glow like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
cool.
good.
Again, the artistic direction of this game is 10 out of 10. It is very pretty.
There it
Okay,
is.
you got the spin.
Huge.
There's
Another
another
one.
one.
Whoa!
Yeah, we didn't really mention this, but
But I'm working on it.
oh, this is
not get the
unfortunate.
speed?
I did not get the
Triple
speed.
jump. Oh.
I guess I
Oh,
could have potentially triple jumped. Yeah. This is a bit
Another
awkward
turn.
because he turns. Yeah.
You'll make it up there.
I've never seen
It'll
this
be
happen,
fine.
actually.
He's doing fine. He's doing great. Into the dandelion.
Trust me,
we
it's
go.
faster. I know what I'm talking about. I speedrun the video game.
The dandelion core.
Oh, hello there, Core. How's your day going?
Just standing right in front.
Well, this boss fight happens pretty quickly, thanks to the fast attacks that happen here. So if you were to swing, jump, and swing again, every time you have the landing animation start, you're immediately able to jump again and just whack him. So we're just gonna rinse and repeat this boss at each phase. As well as in this phase, you're just able to hover over and just whack him it as well.
Good recovery.
The only downside for doing this boss fight fast is one, you can't really tell how much health it has, and two, you probably won't do, or you probably will break the boss fight somehow. I've done it plenty of times recently, but I believe it won't break.
H.
That'll be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. This game has sped up quite a bit since I first submitted it with that estimate, so we are almost at time. It's even hard for us to gauge it. We luckily have an auto splitter, thanks to Lem as well. Thanks for that. Ow, that hurt.
You're welcome.
My company wasn't enough.
I don't want to die. If I die here, it's fine. It just loses a bit of time. You still spawn in the same phase of the fight.
You got the sparklings. You're good.
I don't think they heal, do they? I never had that impression that they healed.
Well, as soon as you start ground pounding them, you start healing. So time is coming up. There'll be one more damage phase here, and then basically as soon as the final cutscene plays.
Oh, I got owned.
I'm almost there.
I got sniped by the eggs back there.
And
Did I get the skip? I did. Okay,
Time.
nice.
Nice.
If that fight went a little bit
Good
better,
job.
that would have been a 56 without loads. 5706. That's also a really nice thing about this game is that you could probably run it on a console or anything and it'd be relatively similar to PC. The only load that is significant is the first one, if any loads at all, basically.
Yeah, it is the only load. So
But yeah, that's Wavetale. Thanks for tuning into our run. Quick shout outs to my commentators for helping me commentate the run. And the speedrunning community at large, you guys are all awesome, especially coming together for events like this and raising money for super important causes. I don't know if you guys have any shout outs you'd like to give before we send it off.
shout outs to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to you for being an incredible runner and another incredible ambassador for all of the communities that you're a part of and all the games that you've exposed me to and becoming a part of this crazy community.
And if I'm so awesome, you all should follow me on Twitch because I stream all the time.
We're all just as awesome. You should follow us all.
Yeah, you should follow all my co-commentators and Joe too for being such an amazing host.
Yeah, Joe's an incredible host.
Okay,
Appreciated, guys.
That'll be it for us. Thank you for having us, and enjoy the rest of your marathon.
What a fantastic run. Let's give it up one more time for Glint. Hey, if you're not following them already, please consider doing so. I don't know about you, but the waves, chill vibes, and saving the world from gloom, that was a fun time in my books. I've got one I've got one dono free here, $10 from Asferun that says, my dad is currently struggling with cancer, so AGDQ is a little extra special for me this year. Let's work towards a world where nobody needs to suffer from this terrible disease anymore. I agree. That's why PCF is so important. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me here at AGDQ 2023 Online. As a longtime fan with this first opportunity to host, I'd like to thank the staff for all their hard work behind the scenes, all the runners for their amazing displays of talent, but most of all, you, the community, for your unparalleled generosity in supporting GDQ events year after year. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, you'll be joined by the phenomenal host, Argic. Till next time.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AGDQ 2023 Online, powered by Twitch. My name is Argic, and I am going to be with you hosting for the next 2 runs here. We are setting up for Burnout Paradise Remastered, and we've got Astral Chain coming up. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly looking forward to some of this. We got plenty of great GDQs still to go. To think that it is only Tuesday and this is going all the way through till Sunday it is. I hope you're all having a great time here. I know everybody else is as well, because we got some donations here. We got Lexi Plays Fast with $50 that says, 2 of my favorite games in play, Burnout Paradise and Astral Chain. How could I not donate? Exactly. See, that's what we want. But yeah, Oh, and we have just been told we don't have to wait long. We are ready to go with the next run. Here is Burnout Paradise Remastered by Sawtooth.